each and every may say that sub-editor or trainee or probation will give a system, one computer system. So when you find the computer system is given to you, obviously you are the owner of that. Mean to say that you're given the code, because I'm talking about the online. Is it clear? Online or offline, you provided a space. Mean to say that a system will be given to you, or okay, and a code is given to you according to name, and again, year of joining, so and so. It all depends on the media house policy and all, right? So as you find this, because that becomes more easier, no need to take your name and all, because the code is given. As for the code, the story will go to the proofreading also before printing. The who suppose, as a sub-editor also, you do miss so many mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Some maybe a letter in the word, maybe in the font size, maybe in the big small letter on, maybe rewritten something. Maybe you overlooked the story and all. You missed, unable to correct some error. And maybe suppose, sometimes even in the Hindu also you find some mistake will be repeated. For example, and in the one sentence, you find one and. So that is a rectification can be done by the sub-editor only. Is it clear? So that each and everything should be taken into consideration when related to the editing of a particular story, right? So mean to say how sharp you are, how alert you are, and how sharpen the language, how sharpen the grammar and all should be known to you. That's easy clear to you. And before the editing of the particular story, you should have the background of the particular story. Is it clear? That's the reason before going to the office or the day, you had to read the newspapers or varied newspapers and get ready for subbing stories. That become more easier for you. Okay. As you know to the background, as you know the background of a particular story, you can that more become more easier, and you can work on very easily, and you can do a lot of stories in a short time. And you can, because when your story being published, the next day, you're just wondering, you'll be so happy to see a story, love the headline and what you designed, and you can be more happy. And that is very important related to the sub-editor and all. Because as I told in the previous class also, what sub-editor is a lifeline. Is it clear to you? Sub-editor is a lifeline, as a backbone of an in media house. Is it clear? A reporter does it, but he is a person, sub-editor is a person who gives the back. No, I may say that he's a backbone, or make us the spinal cord of the house of each and every story. As you find a big story, so the work will be there. Is it clear to you? So that's the reason. As you find big stories given, doesn't mean that you not to work, or you can do on your own and all. Okay. And you can work and just submit and all. No, never do such mistake. You be confident enough, and you have confident enough, and you see that you get a good story, and again see that your name is published, and again see that you're published, what are the edited story being published and all. So that way, each and every day, when you find such stories been published, or I could say that more happy. Is it clear to you? So yeah, what I intend to say is that, yeah. So generally, when you find this, so how to make a news editor happy and all. So generally, the story will be not to go and wish him, not to say that I did a good story, sir, and all, because each and every story will be read by the news editor, and also the editor himself. Is it clear to you? When the story's been, because as a story been read by all, back to you. Anybody could tell me how we get the feedback from the reader? Hello? How we get the feedback from the reader? With the help of the letters to the editor. Yes or no? So when you find such letters to editor, that is the main, I could say this, the feedback from the reader is a lot of impetus, lot of encouragement for the reader and all, for the editor also, editor and who are working for the newspaper. Is it clear to you? So everything counts related to this also. Is it clear? Now when they come to the point of the yeah. Now when we I think you're checking the even the system also, right? Everybody got the system and everybody got the laptop and all, right, ma? So when you find this, so yeah, now when you come to the point of the letters and all, okay, when you're thorough with the typewriting, you have to thorough with the typewriting because that is very imminent. We cannot avoid it. Is it clear too? So as you find typewriting very interesting, and we have to know each and everything related to the typewriting also, right? Why we need typewriting? To know the story for any a reporter sub-editor. That's very important. Okay, need not to go for the shorthand. Shorthand is more helpful for the a reporter, not to the sub-editor. Is it clear to you? Because the reporter go to the reporting place and all location, and he note down in the shorthand. That become great advantage for the reporter, but not to the sub-editor because you're in subbing section, you're the editor and all. So editor definitely need to have some more skills related to the editing skills also, right? Now, as I'm telling you, because as I'm telling you, relate to this editing also. So as you find, what is that? As you find more interesting stories. So generally on Sunday, what happens Sundays? We have more stories. More stories will be published and all. Why you have to more stories on Sundays? Why we have a magazine Sundays? Yeah, because on Sunday, we go for the very leisure days and all, right? We go for the leisure hours and we would like to spend the Sunday or weekend and all, leisurely reading something and all, and sipping the tea and all, making some pakoras, maybe it was the raining season and all. Obviously, find a better day to enjoy the day, reading the newspaper. That's very important for you all, right? Now when you think about this, So now relate to this also, obviously, we have to, as I'm telling you, now this is the, editing the copy, editing process is also taken care and all, right? Even I told about what is called layout design and all, how the layout design should be taken care by the news editor and all. Okay. And because layout design is all responsible on the news editor only child. Chief sub-editor or layout design, how to design, because it all depends on the stories. What the important news values, as we know the news values, 7 C's and all, you're aware of this. So when you know that the crux of the news should be known to you, okay? So because you're the part of the newspaper, you're the part of the print media, you're the part of the production. So obviously you have to know what's background and all, and you have to visualize the things. For example, before coming to the office, what I told you, read the newspapers, 5 or 6 newspapers, get the stories. And if at all you're the chief sub-editor, and if at all you're news editor, you have a better idea, and you visualize the things. That is the chief sub-editor and the news editor. What is it? As you know, they visualize the things and all. Yes, this is the story you're going to get. This had to be in the particular place. I should paste it and all. Okay, yeah, this story can be done by that particular sub-editor and all. So that visualization will be there in the sub-editor, in the chief sub-editor, and also news editor children. That's very important because they knew who can do the work. They knew who can get the better headlines. They knew who can do the best, faster work and all. Because at the time, sometimes, for example, last, what is that? Last hour, maybe 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you join in the office and all, 10 to 4, for example. Okay, obviously you're under pressure. The more stories, as the stories will flow into the office, a big story, exclusive story being drawn, and you can definitely, you're under pressure to work, and in that juncture, you may commit some mistakes, obviously. Okay, and that's the reason even the big newspapers like Hindu also find such mistakes. You can that published, that won't be visible in the when you're on the rush and all, and you're about to submit and all, or about to print and all. Even the proofreader may not, he may overlook because of the time, no, due to the time constraint and all, because it should publish by 3 o'clock. Is it clear to you? Even it should get print by 3 o'clock every day. Is it clear? The 3:30, the circulation department, the circulation manager will take care about the distribution, not marketing, distribution of the newspaper in and around the city and all. Is it clear? They distribute to all. Even I told you about what is called official desk also. No, not to repeat everything, right, ma? Now, related to editing process, editing the copy, editing techniques and all. What is editing process? As I told you, right? As I told you right now, what is editing process generally, right? Yeah, what is editing process? Hello, anybody? Yeah.
Remove the unnecessary things.
Yeah, remove, edit unnecessary things, right? Yeah, very good. Even I told you what is called solid setting type and all, triple column, single column. I think if you keep the newspaper, please keep the newspaper in front of your children. I cannot explain to you because when you see the newspaper, only can understand what I'm explaining to your children. Okay. Yeah, double column, triple column. You're following me? Am I getting to you? Left, right, central and all, right? And what is starting and all? What is the subheading and all? What is headline, subheadline? Is it clear to you? So what is it? Byline, credit line. What is credit line? Anybody can tell me? What is credit line? For example, PTI, Reuters, PTI. That is that is credit. We have to give the credit for them because they're the contributors for the newspaper. They supply the news for us in the form of the maybe say that no, in the form of the matter. That is a news matter. Is it clear to you? Maybe in the syndicate column that is different, right? So what I'm telling you, I think anybody wrote the recently Newsnet? Anybody? I don't know. I don't know whether you're. I think you're not eligible. Sorry. Yeah, the fourth semester are eligible. Okay, ma. So even this should be taken into consideration. Related next year, am I getting to children? Next year, who are willing to write UGC-NET, please go through the initiation carefully. Okay, and again, even I told you what is called left, slash left and all, right, flash right. Even I discussed in the class also. Everything is repeating the same beta. And again, what is inverted pyramid? That is, in this also be explained to you last class also. Okay, display pictures. Very careful. Don't see. When you look into the picture, it looks very beautiful for us. No, when with the caption, what is caption? They're explaining the about the picture in the written form. That is not to write in 4 lines. At the maximum, you can write 2 lines, dear children. For each caption, the caption should contain the explanation part of the picture in 2 lines only. That's all, right? It contains what, who, what, that W5, W1H, definitely. Is it clear? So even this display of pictures should be taken into consideration in the layout design. Is it clear? Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, vagara. Okay, because when you think of page 1, obviously it is a national issue. That page 1 is definitely the big layout and all. And page 2, obviously, is the city briefs of city and all. Page 3, it all depends on the newspaper policy. And for example, if I may go for the Deccan Chronicle, may go for give lot of space for the city briefs and all. They give lot of maybe it's the layout. They lay out more for the city, the local news and all, because that is a local newspaper, Deccan Chronicle. That is a Hindi. That is Hyderabad edition, Visakhapatnam edition, Tirupati edition. Has so many editions are there for the Deccan Chronicle. Is it clear to you? So when think about the Hindu also, so many issues are there. So many editions. What is edition? Publication. That is published house or printing technologies provided to publish the newspaper where the production takes place. Is it clear to you? printing the papers or the printing the newspaper on the day. You see, it all depends circulation figure also. If you print more, for example, maybe 1 lakh copies per day. So do you think that we have demand for the 1 lakh copy in a day for our paper? Yes, you have to think about also. So when you have demand for the 1 lakh, okay, and there's some days, special days like, Eid, maybe some Diwali, maybe some, 15th of August, January 26th and all. So special occasion, generally the editor will keep in mind the reader's interest, reader's leisure time. Readers can spend more time on this particular public holiday, on Sundays and all. That's the reason he had more stories as per the requirement, as per event, as per the situation, as per the important days and all, such that the reader will know better story, and again he'll come to know more information, and definitely, obviously, he'll glue to that newspaper, and because it generates interest in him to read more. Is it clear? So that is also important related to that's the reason it all depends intelligence and the sharpness of the editor, news editor, and chief sub-editor, dear children. Is it clear to you? So how best you present, what is the best story can be printed in the newspaper, it also depends on the editor's skill, editor's vision. Is it clear? Or news editors' vision, skill, and again, should think about the audience, because the audience are important. Readers are important, very important for the paper. Yes or no? So keeping view of the keeping in point of view of the different varied audience, we present the stories. That's the reason we have science paper, science on maybe, we have Ascent in the Times of India, especially. What is Ascent? It is for the employment, advertisement for the employment, advertisement placements and all. And the same way we have in the Hindu, we have opportunities. That is a headline given for the opportunities, that is given space, given for the employment, maybe advertisement for the that vagera. So we have to check it out each and everything. Even UGC.net, or sometimes they also ask the columnist also, the famous columnist in the Hindu. They may ask this question also. So we had to thorough each and everything. They may ask even the publication of the newspaper also, right? See, this is the occasion I'm telling you, right? Yeah. So please crop the newspaper, print picture as per the space provided to you. That space provided in the layout, such that the paper will become a better with page makeup. Am I getting to you? Page layout, page design, page makeup. Please remember. Yes, we had to thorough with all this, Mia. Now, even I told you what is called a Quark Express and all, Adobe InDesign, right? This software introduced by Adobe systems, okay, it is you create works like posters, flyers and all, etc., etc. Please go through the corrector notes carefully. Typography is also very important. Selection of typeface size is important, because as with that double column, single column, and the whole layout, that is 6-column headline. So obviously, we have a boldly 5 typeface will be used. The size will increase. Is it clear? Let's check the newspaper. Please check it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just repeating everything now. So sorry. Yeah, I don't know how many really getting to mind. Either falling, no idea. Okay. And please flip the pages. I'm page number 58, 57. The balanced contrast focus proportion is also important. Everything's done. I'm so sorry. I'm repeating everything. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this has to be taken into consideration, dear children. Right? Now, processing, editing. What is process editing? Editing process. So in the process, what is generally the editing process? Editing symbols, types, copy and all, rewriting sometime, even I told rewriting should be done by the sub-editor. Suppose you got that, suppose you got from the reporter the copy. The report is very new and he is interesting, very hardworking, very intelligent boy. He submitted the story. So in the reporting, maybe for example, I'm telling you, okay, as you work in a media house, obviously the reporter misspelled some word. Instead of Mrs., he wrote the Mr. Am I getting to you? Or maybe instead of writing the doctor, he written professor. We can use for both. The designation very important. Even the designation important, salutation important. That very carefully do the editing part, very, very important. Sometimes the here also, when the reporter submit a story and something he missed it, some points, as a sub-editor, to rewrite this whole story. That become great task for you. You may waste time, but don't think that you are wasting time, because the product, the finished product should be good enough, where it can publish properly, where it read by the reader without any mistake, without the error. Is it clear? That all depends on you, dear children. That is the sub-editor, right? Or editor or sub-editor. When talking about the editor means, obviously, it is a channel or for the audiovisual communication. Am I getting to you? Now we're dealing only with print media, dear children. That is mean to say that the editor related to the audiovisual communication, editor become the sub-editor in the print media, right? So sometimes you have to translate the words also. So suppose, you have 3 language formula beta. For example, Telugu, English and Urdu. English, Urdu, and again, Hindi and Telugu. Sometimes you get a story from the, maybe some stringer. What is a stringer? Who's called a stringer? He wrote in Telugu, submitted the story. What to do? That story is very important. Even the 2-column story is also very important for the publication, for the paper. What to do? Here, the sub-editor has to translate. Efficiency should be there in translation also. That's the reason I keep on telling my children also, or my students, they have to learn the habit of translating. Translation is very important for the translation, typing, shorthand. Am I getting to you? Language, technical aspects should all important, along with your academics, along with the soft skills. Is it clear to you? Everything is important, Amma. If you know thoroughly with all, each and everything, the perfectly fit, I'm telling you. My students are there, the passed out students, doing wonders. I'm not boasting. That is a reality, I'm telling. They're doing wonders. Right? Yeah, they sent to me the stories, big stories, the Times of India and all. They send me. I feel happy. Yeah. See, the teacher the teacher, they show the path. Now it all depends on you, how best you do. Is it clear? That I want. Now, integrating and updating. What is integrating? For example, what is integrating? For example, we got Modi, Prime Minister Modi is in USA, right? Is in USA, and we got different stories on the front page being addressed by Prime Minister Modi, and a great lecturing giving there, and yoga, vagara vagara. Okay, and here in India, because we already got a correspondent in New York, that is DC, Washington DC. He sends a story to the head office in India. For example, the Hindu office. The Hindu. Where is the Hindu office, head office? Chennai. Right? So from the Chennai only, we get the story from Chennai to the Hyderabad. Right? From Chennai to Vijayawada. From Chennai to Vizag. Is it clear? Mean to say that as well as space availability, keep in view of the local stories, right? And national stories, we have to include the big story from the Washington DC of Prime Minister of India. Obviously, you have to follow that. We have to keep the space for him. That all depends on the layout, right? Yeah, that's had to be kept in mind, because even the news editor had to keep in mind that still the Prime Minister of India is still in USA. That space has to be provided in the front page, the second page, third page, vagara vagara. Otherwise, it cannot suffice. It cannot fit the stories which were flowing in the locally, nationally also, dear children. We cannot postpone it. For example, a train accident being occurred. Okay. So can we leave the train accident and put the Prime Minister of India story? No. We have to give some, at least filler, at least 2-column headline should be kept. For the space should be kept, because it is a more proximity matters here. Nearness matters here because it is a national story. It is a local story. It has to be known to the public and all. Is it clear? That should be important. Right, ma? So that's the reason. So when you have what is integrating, updating mean to say that you find some different places. The same story, but different places. For example, maybe you find Draupadi Murmu, especially in winters. She finds a space. Maybe Madam Draupadi Murmu, come to the, Rashtrapati Nilayam. It's in Balaram. She spends 10 days or 1 week here. All the prime ministers, all the president of India will have a winter session, a winter holidays in Balaram, Rashtrapati Nilayam. All the president of India have such a, that privilege to go and visit them also, right? So generally what happens, generally what she do, what the president will do, she go for the inauguration, maybe some charity house, maybe some, a university convocation, maybe some, inauguration of any nursery part in the President Nilayam and all. So these are activities she undertaken all. Right. So here, for example, the Hindustan Times, or maybe Dainik Jagaran correspondent based in Delhi, he'll come to Hyderabad, okay, and integrate the story and is sent to the head office. Right. So integrating means joining the 2-3 stories from 2-3 correspondents, reporters, stringers, vakera. Is it updating the information and get published in the newspaper? That's all. Is it clear? Right. Now, so obviously when you find everything, what is proofreading? Without any mistakes. The proofreaders are very, very vital before getting published. What did I say? Proofreader or a proofreading, very, very important. We do mistakes, some editing symbols mistake will be there, grammatical error will be there, syntax error will be there, and some, instead of writing a Mrs., he wrote the Mr. and all. Instead of writing a president, he wrote some, chairman. Instead of writing the chairperson, he made the chairman and all. So even, as I told you, because nowadays we're not using the chairman at all. Generally, I don't know how far you're aware of this or not, because now we're finding both the sexes in the chairmanship and all. That's the reason instead of chairman, we're using the chairperson. Please note, I don't know whether you can check it out. You can also find out from other source of information better. Okay, this is the information I want to share with you all, right? Yeah. So this all should be taken into consideration related to the how best you do it. Translation, rewriting is very important. Integrating story and all, that's very important. So generally, we have to rely entirely on spelling checks, ma'am. Is it clear? The proofreader does the spelling checking, and again, he does checking and all, and useful tools, he follows some tools and all, right? This is on page number 72 beta. Please do go through that carefully, right? And please remember, each and every sentence is important because the proofreader, he checks each and every letter in the word, each and every sentence about the words. Is it clear to you? The grammar, punctuation, spelling errors, that's very, very vital for this proofreading, dear children. And read the paper backwards. What is backward? What is backward? From down to the up. Generally, what we do, we start from the reading. No, he'd go from down also. Maybe from down to up. Okay. A bottom to top. Bottom to the top of the paragraph. That way. Is it clear? That definitely gives a vision. Generally, when I see, I've also worked in print media. Yeah. Generally, when I look in the page, I definitely the spelling error can really caught my eye very, very sharp, very, very. Because as I worked in the print media, I was a sub-editor. I was like, can you easily make out where the mistake been done? So that sharpness should be there in selecting the word, selecting the sentence and all. Usually, I think if you open your Google, they'll ask you, spell check and all, just find out the error, the number or the error, in the word, instead of save, instead of, it is written, no, I'm just telling you, instead of same, some word is written. I think, did you ever try? No idea. Okay, I do right now also, dear children. Okay, in the whole the sheet of that particular frame is filled with the same, but in that, he asked you to find out some, SOM is some. So even that shows very sharpness in all. So that is important for this editor, sub-editor. He should find out the mistake or the correct word, the mistake in the particular frame or in the newspaper should be known to you, right? That is very, then learn it. When you're doing the work, when you started working and all, you definitely learn everything better. Don't worry about that, right? This is all learning process. Even on the learning process, still I learn, still I rectify myself, still I do the best work and all. We always do the best work. That's very important, because I don't think that every day is a shining day for us. Not at all. That improve as you day the roles. So the experience role should also improve, right? Now, what is style book sheet? Because I told, because each and every newspaper policy, each and every media house has their own style book. As I told you, in my classroom also, in the physical classroom also showed that. Okay, so each and every media house has their own style book. I mean to say that they have this dateline. In the dateline, what is dateline? Place of publication, date, agency. Sometimes they follow that. Is it clear? So that is a part of style book of the particular newspaper. Is it clear? So sometimes they also go for the APA style, MLA style, Chicago Manor style. Is it clear? So, yeah. And also, see, how each and every media house has its own style, unless they follow some Chicago style or maybe MLA style or APA style. Yes. They had to fix one AP style, or they had to fix one something Chicago style and all. Is it clear? So we cannot avoid it. So that's the reason in the code of conduct, in the code of conduct, okay, the style book and all, they write each and everything. So this will be learned by you during the probation or the training and all, right? Yeah, because you have to equip with all the skills of editing. Is it clear? Now, when related to the style book also, the punctuation rules and should be very, very careful, and the evolution of technology of editing and also. How this editing has undergone and all. They had so many changes have come when you think about from the print media. That is, when you think about the printing machine, Gutenberg and all. Now a lot of changes have come. Technically, manually, and again, letter press to the offset press and all. Right. So this has to be evolved ourselves and all. Letter press, we used to add one, and on the gutter, we used to place some. We used to paste one each and every letter. I think you're aware of. I don't know whether you're aware or not. On the gutter, this is called gutter line. So in the gutter line, we used to paste one letter. For example, THED, the THE, the. In a reward way, such that when you paste it and in the ink and imprint on the newspaper, it looks very correct, direct. Good. So even that way, we passed our stage related to the technology of editing and all, right? So the offset, that is a letters press to the offset press, and now it's online press now, right? Yeah. Yeah, so this is the information age. And again, we have to know information revolution has come. We learn the computers, and again, more easier for us right now. And the Quaker Express has been learned by each and everybody. Other way, design is also been adopted by each and every newspaper and all, obviously. So each and everything is important related to the, what is that? Printing, and again, your style, and again, relate to the technology editing, okay. And as you start working, definitely you learn many things and all, right? Yeah. So I think I'll end the class today. I'll continue headlines, functions, types, and patterns. That is 6.11, page number 6075. Please note. I will go with the headline next class. Thank you. See you again. I have the next class at 4 o'clock, so I have to join with them. I have to invite them. Thank you so much, dear children.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Can leave now.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, dear. Ekada?
Hello.
Huh?
Hello.
Yeah. You can leave now.
అంజద్ గారు నాకు ఉన్నారా? సిగ్నల్ లో ఉన్నారా? హలో హలో
హలో.
అంజద్ గారు నాకు అది ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ అది వాట్సాప్ పెడతా అన్నారు కదా.
ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ అది
నేను రాలేదు కదా, అది ఆఫ్లైన్ క్లాస్.
అదే నోట్స్ కదా.
అవునవును.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే. సబ్జెక్ట్ ది
మేడందే.
మేడం దా. ఓకే మేడం ది ఆ రోజు ఓకే కొంచెమే అయింది ఆ రోజు. సరే నేను పెడతా. ఓకే ఎడిటర్స్ సబ్ ఎడిటర్స్ గురించి అయిందే. ఓకే నేను పెడతాను.
ఓకే థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఎలా జరిగింది ఈరోజు క్లాస్?
బాగానే ఉంది. బాగా చెప్తారు కదా మేడం. మేడం బాగా చెప్తారు, కానీ ఈరోజు రామస్వామి సారే కొంచెం డల్ అనిపించింది.
కొంచెం సార్ లేటుగా అయ్యేసరికి కూడా డల్ అయిపోయింది బాగా.
చాలా
కానీ నాట్ బ్యాడ్, నడుస్తుంది.
బాగా చెప్పారు, బట్ ఏంటంటే కొంచెం డల్ గా చెప్పారు అంతే.
नहीं हुआ और टॉप नहीं हुआ।